さあ、ということで、ということで本日はですね、デッドバイデイライトの、まあやっていくんだけども、どうやら、今日の、1時から、PTB、テストサーバー来るんだけど、ついにね、ついに、僕もね、まあちょっと中途半端で今止まってる、Five Nights at Freddy's、そちらとのね、コラボが決まりまして、そのテストサーバー、つまり新キラーがね、今回の次のテストサーバー実装されるということで、合ってるよな？多分いつもそうだから。だからデッドバ運営気合い入れて、生配信してるってわけだよね。で、これ今回はそれを見ていこうと。いうふうに思います。で、まあこの後、テストサーバーダウンロードして、やろうかなっていう感じっすね。さあ、これ始まったな。じゃんじゃんじゃん。いやー、Five Nights at Freddy's とのコラボはマジで最高。もう、待ってたよ、俺は。ホラーゲーム実況者として俺は待ってましたよ。言っとくけど俺ホラーゲーム実況者だからね。フォトナとかやってるけど。ホラーゲー実況者だからね、もともと。言うとくけど、ホラーゲーありきの俺だから。フォトナは、そっからデトバとかのマルチプレイゲームから派生してやってるだけだから。まあ、あとやりたいとか。さあ、始まるよ。じゃーん。声大丈夫？これ。さあ、オッケー。飯食いながらやるわ。飯食いながら見よう。はいよ、始めろやー。飯食いながらやるわ。晩飯。いやー。最高よ。フナフコラボはもう待ってましたよね。Five Nights at Freddy's の、俺映画も見てるからな。あ、出た！はい！はい。開発ライブの時に、サバイに煽られて、パーク弱体化し、キラーに煽られてパーク弱体化した、デトバ下手くその開発者、マシュ。じゃないの、こいつ。デトバ下手くそ。テストプレイ来たら、もう今夜の1時からだから。1時からやから。あ、下手くそ下手くそです、こいつ。こいつゲーム下手くそです。デトバ下手くそです。世界一下手くそです。世界一下手くそだけど開発者の立場にいるクソです。じゃないこいつ。じゃなかったっけこいつじゃなかったっけ
an incredible delight to meet so many people I only knew as online names, and to ham it up in front of a live audience was pretty fun. So we just wanted to say thank you for that. That was our first big live event. So hopefully that means we can do more. And the only negative of that event, we were not joined by Dork.
Yes.
Due to visa issues.
Yeah, it was really sad to be watching from the sidelines, but the room was electric.
セブンのデニーズのタラコスパゲッティめっちゃうまい。
That was just amazing. So I truly hope that maybe in the future I'll be able to meet you guys in person. But for now, let's get into today's live stream, which we're talking about part 2 of our anniversary live stream with the Dead by Daylight Five Nights at Freddy's official live stream. And today, especially at PAX, you guys got a little taste about what was coming with this chapter. But now we're going to be talking about the map, the new gameplay, and the anniversary event, which is right around the corner.
We just gave them an app, and now they're getting the full pizza.
Yeah, the new full pizza.
So if you are new to Dead by Daylight, which I suspect some of you are, there are a lot of people here. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Hello, camera 2. If you're new to Dead by Daylight,
俺ゲームはセキュリティブリーチと5 Nights at Freddy's 1の体験版はやったことあるけど、ストーリーだけは全部知ってるから。
PTB. If you don't know what PTB is, public test.
1時からね。
そう、
1時から。1時からだから。
Truly, it's a chance for us to get the build out early, find some rough edges, anything that might not be working, and get it up to gear, up to snuff for the full release, which is
めちゃくちゃ言うやん。で、下手なんやもん。
So I just wanted to set the stage for you in case you didn't know what PTB is.
いや、破滅ってパーク俺よく言ってるけどさ、破滅チェックみたいなのが昔あったんよ。で、普通のサバイバー、普通レベルのサバイバーですら、その対策してたのに、その対策全くできてなくて、自分が下手なだけなのに、破滅強いとか言って対化したから。
So let's not delay any longer. We'll show you what's coming in the show
today
with the run of shows. So we're going to kick things off with a segment that you've been waiting for. 5 Nights at Freddy's gameplay, playing as Springtrap. And helping us out, we're going to have Jason Guzzo back with us to talk about Springtrap's gameplay, but also the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza map.
Yes, and then next I'll be joined on the couch with Justin Banks, who's going to break down this year's anniversary event and show us everything's going to be happening for this last Twisted Masquerade. Then we'll have a new face on the couch, which is going to be Hollis from the product team, who's going to be running through the latest collections that'll be rolling into the fog here in a couple of months. And then after that, Eric and I will be back on the couch to talk about the Dead by Daylight Creator Program, which I know a lot of our content creators out there are at the edge of their seats waiting to hear news about, so stay tuned.
And we also have another thing to share with you that is new. Maybe you saw it in your news yesterday in the game. Little spoiler. We're going to be talking about the extremely cool new Dead by Daylight stats tracker that's coming up. We're going to be able to look at your in-game stats and progress as you play, which is really neat.
Yes, I cannot wait to see how many times I've died. After that, well, obviously, wouldn't be a Dead by Daylight live stream without having some Twitch drops. And we're going to have 3 amazing Twitch drops for players to go ahead and redeem on Twitch. So make sure you're looking at the Twitch chat or looking at the QR code to go ahead and make sure you're linking your behavior account so that you're not missing it. It starts today up until June 10th, but maybe, Eric, you want to tell us what we're going to get?
I do, although I don't know that it matches what's in the image. So we have 3 drops for you, but actually the first drop is a combo. You're going to get blood points as well as the smiling clown badge. Sorry, I don't. What I have written down versus what's in that image are not the same thing. So we're going to learn together what we get. Smiling clown badge, 200,000 blood points bundled together for watching 1 hour. A clown den banner for watching 3 hours, and a pin the tail on the Maurice charm for anyone who accumulates 6 hours of watch time. Oh, Maurice, how I miss thee.
I miss him. I have to do my little head pats at the map.
I know. I hope he returns to us soon. Before we dive in, one last thing we did want to mention if you've been around for a few weeks. We're running a charity program at the moment, which I've been so psyched about, tied to Aurella's release. And it has already, well, it's finished, but it has over $200,000.
Oh my God.
And that's before the multiplier that we're still calculating right now. So thank you to everyone who contributed to that charity. It's going to a really great cause, the Saint Justine Foundation here in Montreal, to help kids and their moms. So thank you. We'll announce the final number when we have it from the numbers people, but it is well over $200,000, so crazy.
That's a lot of money.
Okay, without further ado, let's talk about 5 Nights at Freddy's, playing a Springtrap, and bring out our dear friend Jay Guzzo, the killer's designer.
びっくりしたびっくりしたびっくりした 普通にビビったわ、今。マジで今ビビった。びっくりした。やばい、これ。別にゲームでもなんでもないのにビビったんだけど、最悪。やば。びっくりした。やりやがって。あー、フナフっぽい曲やな。怖っ。
Whoa! I was waiting for Jay to tell us when we're ready, but we're live. See, we told you it's live. You didn't believe us. Okay, so hi Jay. Hi. So from the time that we announced that Five Nights at Freddy's was coming to Dead by Daylight, obviously the excitement has been off the charts for Five Nights at Freddy's fans.
フナフの開発者やろ。
Maybe you. And you know, people were speculating. Who's the killer going to be? Are we going to get a map, et cetera, et cetera? We answered those things in a high-level way at PAX a few weeks ago. Indeed, we will have a killer, Springtrap. For the first time ever, you get to play as Springtrap instead of be terrorized by Springtrap. Well, if you're
足音とガシャンガシャンって言うんかな。
and also we'll be bringing a new map. So Jay has come here to join us. And if you have watched streams before, you would know Jay from such hits as Chucky and also Dracula. Jay is the killer designer on both of those, as well as Springtrap. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm excited to be here.
I'm also excited for you to be here, Jay. So let's get into it. So as I mentioned, you worked on some pretty iconic licenses already. So when you were assigned Five Nights at Freddy's, what was it like when you first started working on that chapter?
It was really interesting. I didn't have a lot of experience with it. Excuse me, my voice is my throats are a little dry today. I was obviously aware of it. I mean, everybody is. It's become so iconic in such a short period of time. But I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really realize how kind of deep the lore and the story went before I started kind of looking into this.
ストーリー複雑なんだよね。
It's been cool, and like the story is
いいが。
way more horrifying than I ever thought it would be, to be honest.
Oh yes, despite how cute it is, very horrifying. And actually, I think that's a very initial common ground DBD fans and FNAF fans will have. Deep lore on both games, much more than you'd expect. And once you dig in, it's really cool stuff, and it goes, like you said, goes places.
Yeah.
So I guess the way you mentioned it, sounds like you had to do a lot of research to get up to speed.
Yeah, for sure. You know, one of my favorite things about doing licenses like this is they give me an excuse, I guess, a reason to become like a real big nerd about one specific franchise or IP, and that's always amazing. You know, Chucky, I got to watch all the movies, and Dracula, we played the games and watched stuff. So this one, I did the same thing. I jumped in. My main thing was YouTube and Twitch, watching streams. I watched 60 to 70 hours of content of some of the more popular streamers, I guess we can say, all through all the games, including the VR stuff and things. You know, not just to see games and how they played, but also the players, how they react, the community, how they react, what kind of getting the inspiration for the experience of FNAF and Five Nights at Freddy's, excuse me.
Yeah. And I think that's a really special thing. You didn't just tackle it from a mechanics point of view. You wanted to understand the community. You wanted to understand the players, make them feel as welcome in DBD as possible. Dead by Daylight, sorry. No, we're going to be doing this a lot. It's just quicker to use acronyms. So I think that's a great touch. So any surprises you found along the way as you were doing that?
Yeah, I mean, this won't be a surprise to most people, but it was to me, was, like I said, just how passionate the community is. They're like you said, it's very similar to DBD in that respect of like very passionate fans and very passionate community. People who kind of, they watch the trailers and they watch gameplay and they pixel peep.
Oh, yeah.
And they kind of start stringing things together, and I imagine there's at least a few Five Nights fans with like the boards with pictures and the string all over them.
Yes, which Jay, you're kind of famous for with Dracula. Hand drew some meme-worthy art, so maybe we'll have some more.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're probably picking apart our outfits as we speak. Like, what does it mean? What is it? I just wanted people to see my cool new mint-colored shoes. That's all.
I just wanted people to see. I don't know if I can show it. My daughter bought me Freddy Fazbear socks for Christmas.
Got Freddy on the feet.
Yeah.
Likewise, my son gave me his Freddy plush for good luck today. So we are loving it over here. So before we jump into the gameplay, why don't you tell us about how you started to approach the design of Springtrap?
Yeah, it was a really interesting one because obviously, if you know both games, gameplay-wise, they're pretty diametrically opposed. Five Nights at Freddy's is really about sitting still. You manage resources, particularly the battery, and try not to get killed. Whereas DBD is all about moving around, doing the gens. If you sit still, you're gonna get yourself killed. It's not a great idea. So it really became about kind of nailing down what the quintessential Five Nights at Freddy's experience is. Things like the security office, the battery power, all those amazing jump scares, and just kind of figuring out how to adapt that into the context of DBD.
Perfect. So with that transition, let's get into Springtrap specifically and his gameplay.
Yeah. So one of the goals for Springtrap.
これでどうすぶっ壊れだったらどうせぶっ壊れでも弱体化するからな、このゲーム。だいたいぶっ壊れキラー弱体化される傾向にあるから、あんま期待してない。いや、ぶっ壊れじゃないぐらいがちょうどいいわ。そしたら、めっちゃ弱体化されるみたいなことでそんなないから。うわーやべえ最高いやもうまんまだわ。原作まんま。もうそのままだわ。あ、やば、最高。
Yes.
And yeah, and we gave him a pretty unique projectile, which is really cool. So Springtrap has two weapons. I get to finally announce. I know the community have been talking about it. So he has a large pizza knife as his main weapon, and a heavy fire axe as his power.
やばーい。
So let's talk about the axe. How do you use the axe? How's it different from projectiles that other characters in Dead by Daylight use?
Yeah, so it's a very unique. It's not going to play like any other projectile killer that you've tried before. We wanted to do something a little bit interesting with it. So if you throw the axe and it hits something in the environment, whether it's a missed shot or it's deliberate, it creates an AoE that lasts about 15 seconds. And if a survivor walks through it, you get killer instinct on them for a short period of time. If you hit a survivor with it, kind of gets lodged in their back while you're chasing.
Kind of have an axe lodged in their back.
No big deal. So they can remove it manually, or they can do it quicker in co-op with another survivor. As Springtrap, you can also retrieve it yourself if you get in close. You can skip kind of the steps of downing the survivor and picking them up. You get in close to a survivor that has the axe embedded in them. Click the button, you grab the axe and the survivor at the same time. You get a cool little jump scare, and then you're carrying them on your
これが襲ってくるのか、俺絶対ビビる。
couple little notes.
でし。
One of them
おーだよね。
You move at 4.4 meters per second. There he is.
や
ば、かっこよ。めっちゃかっこいい。やば、めっちゃ再現度高え。あ、これすごいわ。これすごい。あ、これすごいね。
But yeah, as long as it's in the environment or in a survivor or whatever it is, you have to manually recall it.
So it lightens his load a little bit, makes him a bit faster.
Exactly.
Perfect. So that brings us to another unique part of his gameplay, and I think super iconic to Five Nights at Freddy's, the security office. So let's get into that.
Yeah. So it was really important for us to give the killer and the survivor a really kind of interesting shared experience in that space, which allowed us to also lean into the jump scares. And some of the ways we came up with was to introduce a security office, which is part of any trial that Springtrap is the killer. It's part of his power. but it acts as kind of a transitionary space. So we have 7 doors that appear randomly around the map at chest spawns, and these can be used by survivors or killers to teleport around the map.
Oh.
Yeah, there be a door.
There it is. And survivors can also use them for surveillance. So as a survivor, you interact with the door. It brings up the camera view. You'll get the kind of iconic map view in the bottom right of all the different cameras. On the bottom left, you'll see your battery power, which we'll talk about in a second.
よし、明日学校のお休み。はい、お疲れ様。
If you see something that if it looks
ありが
safe
と
on
う。
the other end, you press the button, your character goes into the security office, and then it's kind of like a hands-off, almost like a theme park experience where you see this first-person view going through the office, which is really cool.
And one thing you mentioned, again, just in case we have new folks playing, regardless of what map you're playing on, this functionality, the security room will be there as long as Springtrap is the killer in the match.
Yeah, exactly. And as a survivor, if you happen to see Springtrap,
すごいな。だってさっきの骨格、ファンならわかるけどさ、中のウィリアム・アフトンの死体まで全部再現してたよ。やば。いや、これ再現度やっぱすぎる。たっけっては再現度。いや、これ気合入ってんね。もうわかるわかる。
So if a survivor is moving through that space from one door to the other, Springtrap, excuse me, chooses one of those 2 doors, whether the one they're coming from or the one they're going to, he'll interrupt them in the security office for a fun little surprise.
Ooh. Awesome. I love all the little touches that the team has planted in there like that. I think the fans are really going to love it, including this. You mentioned the battery. Managing the battery is part of this as well. So how's that work in DBD?
Yeah, so survivors share a universal battery. It's shared amongst all of them. It drains a little bit down per second while you're using the cameras. We didn't want players to just be the man in the chair. And just
今カメラっつったな。
So it drains a little bit using the teleporter to move around the map. Takes off a big old chunk in one shot. And then you have to kind of manage that battery as a team. It slowly recharges on its own over time, but you have to kind of manage when and where you're using it. If the battery does run out, the security system, which is kind of the doors, the cameras, the office, goes into shutdown mode for 45 seconds. But Springtrap is not affected by the battery. So if the survivors have kind of overplayed their hand and they shut the security office down, they've kind of given up their one bit of power in this chapter, and Springtrap can still use the doors and bounce around.
Oh,
do whatever he
dangerous.
wants.
Dangerous. Fantastic.
バティっつったの。
What about disabling the doors?
Yes.
いや、ほんまに原作みたいな要素
To go back to the axe.
が使えるんかな。
If the killer
どういう視点な、どういうあれになるかわからんけど。
or a door, the whole thing, with their axe, that door and the camera becomes unavailable to survivors. They can't use it to teleport away. They can't teleport to that door, and they can't see through the camera that's been disabled.
やっぱカメラ使えるんやな。
Use it, that effect lingers a little bit. It becomes a really cool way of like, I need to scope this area out, but I don't want to be revealed or seen. Disable the door, move around, use it to fake the survivors out.
Got it. But it's not permanent. The door can be used again after the axe has been retrieved. Cool.
Unless it's in shutdown, which means the survivors can't use it anymore.
Right. Cool. Okay, so speaking about moving around the map, which it sounds like we have a new exciting way to do that. One of the coolest things about the chapter, in fact, is the map.
マップ。
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is now a new map, a new level within Dead by Daylight for DBD fans, specifically in the Withered Isle realm. So what can you tell us about the map?
So the art team and the level design team, much like me, they did a ton of research. And like, I don't say this just because we're doing the stream here, but it's become I love it so much. In the same way that we worked hard at kind of integrating a lot
ワイルさん、素材。ワイルさんいらっしゃい。どこ素材にしようかな。え、今日これその素材配信
Amazing. So are there some areas that you want to shout out that Five Nights at Freddy's fans might recognize?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a,
今日
you'll see a lot of small references and stuff, but obviously we've recreated
やべえ、張り出したな、俺の配信
in
に
the。game. But
く
we're
そ
also letting you exit the pizzeria to explore
今日これ
the outside.
生放送見たら一回配信切ってテストサーバーインストールして1時間でやるから。いややなー、フナフ。
For the rooms, we've got the lobby.
ジャンプスケアとかあったら絶 対素材されるやん、そこ。
stage is very
やだな。
And we have the arcade, which is, it's all very kind of creepily decorated like a birthday party. And, we have areas like the kitchen and
Oh.
the mechanical room, which is cool. And
We can
yeah,
see a
there you
little
go,
glimpse
yeah.
right there too.
でもこれあれなんだよな。
this should kind of feel like
映画館やる？あ、やる。テストファーバーやるよ。
pizzeria. And, of course, since it's Dead by Daylight.
これ一応映画館あるじゃん。シネマのマップ。あれの別バージョンマップになるらしい。
You're making a judgment call on those.
今まで映画館1本だけやったのが、
But if you're a
映画館とこのファイブナイツアットフレディーズのピザ屋のマップかなんかになるらしいよ。
And it looks really
なんかバージョン違い。
art team.
バナミ幼稚園とかもバージョン違いあるやん。
But also
カラスの巣とかも
wandering
バージョン違い。
around, it's like a
あれの1個らしいよ。
Five Nights at
フラフ。
Freddy's fans, like, whoop, you're gonna be in familiar territory.
Yeah.
So
ならアドバンテージをあげよう。うざ。
podcast, but I do want to mention it again. We're gonna have a separate queue for this map specifically, which means you want to go to the game and you just want to check out the map. Normally, in the past, you'd be in the general rotation of maps and all that. Now you can go straight in just to the pizzeria without having to hope that you get there. So it's going to be its own queue when you join the game.
Yeah, and that's a feature that's going forward with any chapter within the map.
これからルーレット回すから。
New map, which is really cool.
Perfect. Okay. How about some last tips
Yep.
for survivors and for killer players?
Yeah,
ちょっとフロア貸してく
for
る。
the killer, as Springtrap, get used to the arc of the projectile. As I said, it's super unique compared to other projectile killers. We've done something that really allows you to kind of pull off some pretty gnarly trick shots. We've seen some really interesting ones on our internal playtest. It's been super fun. So test that out, get used to it, and take advantage of the jump scares.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're playing with your friends, hearing them shout in your ear is always a great time. But for survivors, take advantage of the cameras and the doors. It may seem a little unsafe because you can be interrupted or whatever, but they're really valuable tools if you get used to them and you use it to reveal the killer and kind of scoping out the area. You'll get more of an advantage out of them than I think you realize at first.
Heck yeah.
But yeah.
Well, Jay, thank you so much, as
Thank you.
always, for joining us on the couch with your wonderful work and the fun stuff that you've planted in there. Soon enough, people will get to play around with it. I know you're
Yeah.
going to be glued to your Twitch screen so you can
Oh,
watch
yes.
people play it, test it out. Thank you so much for joining us. The show must roll on. So next, we're going to bring out our friend Justin Banks, fill you in on DBD's anniversary event that's right around the corner.
Bye, everybody.
Hmm. いや、おもろいね。でも素材にした。ああ、そういうこと。いや。いや、いいよ。別に。そんなアドバンテージいらん。なんか逆になんかもう、めちゃくちゃ言いそうで、いや。それだったらもう俺、ひたすら素材にならないようなこと言うから。叫んでも変なこと言っても、時間以内なら素材に。ああ、なるほどね。まあまあまあ。まあ、それは任せるわ。もう俺はもう常に素材にされないように立ち回るからね。びっくりした。声ちっさ。お前声張れや。笑っとんちゃうぞ。声張れ。叫べ叫べこら。叫べ叫べ。叫べ叫べこら。
So, what better way to party and welcome back the anniversary event and get ourselves nice and warm by the fire than with Justin Banks?
Thank you, Dork. I'm really happy to be back with all you guys out there. It's another masquerade, another year where they dust me off, take me out of the locker, and get ready to talk to you guys about what is happening for this year's masquerade.
Yeah, and I'm super excited to hear how we're going to be partying it up in this year's anniversary event.
So there's lots of stuff going on, and it's a special one because, as I think you saw by the trailer just before, after 4 years, this is going to be our final masquerade. We have lots of laughs, lots of fun, and the response to all of the gameplay, the cosmetics, the aesthetics have all been incredible since we got this party started. So our final masquerade event is actually going to start in the month and run from June 25th to July 16th. While we're sad to see it go, I mean, it was a really, really fun theme that we worked on internally. We've had a gas working on it every single year, but we're going to close out with one before moving on to something completely brand new for our 10th anniversary next year. I don't want to hype, I don't want to tease, but come back a year from now and we're going to have something really special for you.
I'm really excited to see what we come up with. But also when in terms of actual gameplay, when we're talking about the return of Twisted Masquerade, is it true that the team decided to work on fine-tuning what we've currently got instead of adding new things to the whole shebang?
Yeah, exactly. So there's a few things that we're doing to really focus on the quality of life of the game overall. So you've seen all of you guys out there, I don't even know which camera I'm looking at, that one. All of you guys out there, you've all seen how we're pushing for quality of life. We want to make sure that it's the game that, it's the game you guys deserve. You've stuck with us for such a long time. We're fixing long-standing bugs. We're improve your overall experience. And we want that to translate to
何試合わからんもん。だって。
So we've made
10話やるよ。10話、28、10話やるかな。いや、10話やらんかも。7ぐらい。いや、でもそんなあれか。5ぐらいにしとく ?6? わからん。何試合だろう。もう別にいらねえよ、アドバンテージ。ここまで来たら。ここまで来たらもういらないよ、アドバンテージ。もう。
We are bringing back the bag of tricks that we introduced last year, which creates a random effect on the match, that happens.
5試合はやるよ、絶対。それよりかは先はわかんないけど。5はやる。
To really keep things dynamic, keep it moving. We're also bringing back Father Campbell's chapel, decorated, for the entire party.
めんどいな。めんどくさくね、このルール。もう普通にこの枠立て直すからさ、次の枠で喋ったらいいんじゃない？絶対めんどくさいよ。多分ワイドさん自身がめんどくさくなるよ。多分一番めんどくせえと思う。
Plus all the returning content. I mean, what's not to love there? I cannot wait to get my hands on my invitation just to cause ruckus. So when you're talking about the quality,
何笑ってんねん。
are the players going to be able to experience that in the gameplay with Twisted Masquerade this year?
Absolutely. So when we were looking at how quality of life applies to the game as a whole, saying, well, there are
美味しかった。ごちそうさま。
could work better for a better player experience. So while by and large everything from the event was really well received, we know people enjoyed imitation powers, the bag of tricks, etc. There was one big friction.
あっさり素材にされたらこれ考えるか。それでいいと思う。まあ素材にはされねえけどな。
To make sure that as a killer is using it, it's no longer instant. You can't just look at a hook and
これ実際のプレイ映像見せてほしいよね。
What will happen is the survivor has to look at a hook, they'll hold a button for a period of time, and then the survivor will be teleported. And it will also be obvious that the killer is doing this, so the survivors have time for their counterplay to make them drop their partner. So we're really hoping that it creates some more friendly gameplay, some less abusive elements, and just an overall much better party for everyone to play through.
It's going to be great. I'm really excited for that, yeah.
So, in addition to that, last year we pulled back the curtain on our host of the anniversary that we've shown around in quite a few assets. We showed off last year in a lot of ways. Our darling Trix. So since this is the last masquerade, her presence is going to be a little less felt, so you won't hear her or see her as often. And then she'll just be, with the masquerade, fading away into the fog, you could say.
Oh, that's really sad that we're going to see her fading away, but I understand. At least we get to enjoy her while we still have her.
Yep.
So, with this being the last hurrah, what does this mean for the Twisted Masquerade rewards and outfits?
So this is probably one of my favorite parts to talk about, because when we see these concepts every year, it's amazing. These are so creative and fun to work on. So we wanted to use our final Twisted Masquerade as a way to catch up on all original characters who did not previously have a mask or outfit.
Okay.
So what you would see here is that we are adding masks for any survivors that are originals that did not previously have a mask. So we've got one for Vittorio, Jake, Tori, Sable, Claudette, and Orella. And then on the killer side, we only had one that's missing a mask, so we have a mask for Houndmaster.
すげえ。
And
ハロウィンイベント
then
の
what we have to supplement that to keep
仮面とあれじゃん。
pieces per roll is 5 killer anniversary weapons that look amazing. So for that, we've got one for Trapper, Nurse, Huntress, Doctor, and Spirit.
I cannot wait to get my hands on that spirit one.
Yeah. Oh,
すげえ。
they're
ナタと
looks
仮面。
so damn good.
So good.
And we've not left out 2 other characters because those are going to get the fully earnable outfits
Okay.
from the event. So we've got David King and the Wraith. So fully decked out, ready to celebrate the
Nice.
party. So with that, we're catching up
Oh.
all of our original characters, making sure that
うん。
everyone is able to dress for the party for our final masquerade, which I think is really cool.
It's super cool.
And one thing that we've started to do over the past few years is introduce what I'm calling guests to the party.
Okay.
So some licensed characters who are getting outfits. Now, I don't want to spoil anything, so stay tuned for Hollis's section after, as he shows you who is guest starring at the party.
Okay. And hopefully they've rolled a nat 20 on style.
Oh, maybe a spoiler there.
Okay, so I know a lot of people are going to be thinking about this, myself included. I'm very curious. So when it comes to the time limit,
俺もやらなきゃダメ。
and the items, what happens?
いや、
So,
まあ、
as
い
we've
いや。
done
そ
for
れはいいわ、
events
別
and
に。
event collections in the past,
いいよいいよ。
like this
別
one,
に。
we have it only available
別に
during
それはいらん。
of the event, and then when the event happens again next year, all of the previous iterations come back in the store. Since this is the last masquerade, what we're doing is going to be a little different. We have to adapt because we don't want these to fade away forever. So we are tentatively planning for these to come back in the store permanently at a certain point in the future, but we can't give specifics exactly when that is going to be.
Okay.
So when this masquerade ends, everything will disappear. And when we know when they are coming back, we are certainly going to be communicating on it. So players can be aware and they know when they can come back and get any masks they missed, or if they joined us later, come in and pick them up then.
That's going to be awesome, especially because like this time of year anniversary is like a huge thing for our community. So this is a huge win, I know. But also, aren't we doing something else to make this a little bit more special?
Absolutely. So I was talking about how we want to make sure all of our originals have masks or outfits to celebrate the party. But we want to make sure that all of our players have access to all of these originals too to celebrate with. So what we're doing is we're putting all of our original characters on free trial for the entire duration of the event. So if there is a survivor, a killer that you've not ever played before, you've been interested about, pick them up, play them in the normal queue, play them in the event queue, really go nuts. And then
でも俺もやった方がワンチャン見過ごす可能性。
some really sick sales going on, so get them at a really nice price and keep celebrating with them.
Well, that's awesome, Justin. Thank
見
you
過ご
so
す
much
か
for
まあ
giving us
別
a
に。
full rundown on the anniversary event and the Twisted
ただでもテスト
Masquerade.
サーバーって
As I
PC
said,
しかできないからな。
going soon, but we're gonna keep it together.
It's going to go out with a bang.
Yeah,
ワイさん PC じゃないでしょ
At least we have that. All right, so next up, joining me on the couch is going to be a new face to the stream. So please join me in the chat with a warm welcome for Hollis, who's going to be giving us a full rundown on the latest collections that'll be rolling into the fog.
まあいいや。ちょっと待って。お風呂沸かしてくる。
collections time. And you know I love talking about collections. And here with me to talk about them is a new phase, our senior live specialist, operations specialist, Hollis, to give us the full rundown on everything that's going to be coming to the Dead by Daylight in-game store in the next couple of months. So welcome to the stream.
Thank you.
So Hollis, how about you go ahead and give us a rundown about your role real quick?
Yeah, so my day-to-day consists mostly of scheduling and setting things up for the in-game store. So stuff you would see like the collection banners, featured outfits, the bundles, weekly gifts, sales, stuff like that. I've also worked on a few of the collections you guys may have seen in the store. So Autumn Fashion, Chrysalis, Noir, Horrors from the Deep, and the Forgotten Myth collection. And on that note, speaking of content creation, I am sort of moving further in that direction as I'll be the person heading up charms and player cards going forward.
Okay. Speaking of player cards, that was actually one thing we missed to talk about in our last segment. I was just sitting down with Justin, where we're going to have badges and banners coming in as other things in the event. I'm super excited. But also, thank you for the Chrysalis collection. Oh my God, I'm a huge Chrysalis fan. But with all of that said, like I said, I just sat down with Justin and they gave us a full rundown about the Twisted Masquerade when it comes to in-game earnables. But what can you tell us about what's going to happen store side?
Yeah, so just mentioned we have some really cool exclusive event rewards. We also have some exclusive store rewards for Twisted Masquerade.
Okay.
This time around, we have some outfits for the Lich Vecna, who's wearing his Masquerade Lich outfit, as well as Baemar, who is wearing his Masquerade Lich outfit.
誰これ誰これ
It's magnificent.
Oh, it's beautiful.
あれないでいいか、確かに。
All the masks and outfits from previous years will also be returning to the store. You'll be able to find a few select masks and bundles for Killer and Survivor.
ベースサーバー PC だけだから。
Twisted Masquerade last year, we'll also have a bundle with rewards from that. So the Unknown outfit, the player cards, and the charms. And all that will be available in the store on June 25th at the start of the event.
Okay. So is there going to be any like fantastic sales happening as well?
It might be. So we're going to be doing 30% off almost everything in the store for outfits released before the Five Nights at Freddy's chapter. On top of that, we'll be doing 25 to 50% off almost all the characters. And as Justin mentioned, if you find a character you like, we're giving you free trials.
めっちゃ早口じゃないこいつ。
Okay. All right. So and as obviously
ジェフじゃない。ジェフ。
touched on it. Brace yourself. This is a bit emotional.
ジェフか
But after this, the party.
コラボ
It'll be our. I know.
わかんねえな、パッと見。
Let's keep it together. But
何興奮してんねん。
because before we close the curtain, we've got other things happening right before, right?
That's correct. On June 17th, we
こいつめっちゃ早口じゃない。陰キャあるある。陰キャあるある。くっそ早口。こいつ絶対陰キャ。こいつ絶対ちっちゃい時陰キャだったよ。
But in case you did miss PAX, first of all, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Second of all, you would have saw that we revealed our Yellow Rabbit legendary outfit for our new killer, Springtrap. This is an incredible outfit from the Five Nights at Freddy's movie that features the likeness of Matthew Lillard.
わー
Screen before the spring walk.
すげえ。あ、これフナフの実写映画のやつやん。
From Matthew Lillard that was recorded just for Dead by Daylight, as well as some special voiceover and animations in the lobby.
Okay, I cannot wait to get my hands on that. But are there going to be other versions of Springtrap coming into the fog as well?
There is. We also have a Glitch Trap, a legendary outfit for Springtrap. Now, Glitch Trap first appeared in Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted and its sequel, Help Wanted 2, where he played a very crucial role in the story. So it's amazing to have him as part of this collection. And as an added bonus, for both legendary outfits, when you unlock them, you will receive a portrait badge of those characters as well. So a Glitch Trap portrait badge for Glitch Trap, and a Yellow Rabbit portrait with Matthew Lillard's likeness when you buy that as well. We also have two very rare outfits for Springtrap, which are both taken from Five Nights at Freddy's Special Delivery, the mobile AR game, which are Clown Springtrap and...
やば
Now, Clown Springtrap is...
あ、えミミックじゃない うわ、ウィリアム・アフトンの体出ちゃってないこれ。これウィリアム・アフトンの体出ちゃってるやん。中から。やばいやばいやばい。うわ、ドワイト。なにこれすごい。フナフコレクション。うわ、すごい。ウィリアム・アフトンや。えぐ。
Casual is a great way to describe it because this outfit, this collection is simply called the Casual Collection.
ウィリアム・アフトン。
As the name implies, it focuses on streetwear and casual clothing, letting us add more variety to characters who've kind of been stuck with one look in the past. So, for example, a guy like Gabriel, who's often portrayed in space-themed outfits, we finally gave him something more casual to show a different side of his character.
Looks so good.
He's a handsome man, isn't he?
Handsome man.
Handsome. On top of Gabriel, we also have outfits for Tori, who will be taking a break from her cult robes.
That looks so good.
One I know you're very excited about, which is Talita, who is getting some pants and escaping her shorts and skirt purgatory that she was in for a bit there.
Talita,
Yaba.
yes, pants.
Thank you, Eric. We love pants.
Pants.
Yeah, spam pants emotes.
Yeah.
I don't know whether those exist. And finally, we have an outfit for Hattie as well. And this collection will be hitting the store on July 2nd, right at the start of summer.
I cannot wait. Obviously, I'm very excited for pants.
Pants.
Pants. But with that, I mean, especially because like with the pants, I get to be nice and comfortable while I'm hanging on the hook. I mean, I'm gonna be there anyway, so I might as well be comfortable, right?
It'll be awkward if you were on the hook with no pants.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad. Ollie.
Top.
But we also want the
Pants,
collection to be
pants.
nice and comfortable. as
Pam
well.
pam 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 pam
With
pam pam pants.
We're bringing up
Pants,
the
pants.
Boulay
Pants.
collection, which will be joining the fog on July 8th. Coming in with a very rare for the Huntress and
Pants, pants.
That's right. And since
Ah, artist じゃないこれ。
outfit inspired by the Boulay brothers themselves, buying that one will get you an exclusive Boulay brothers themed portrait badge.
やば。
yes, can't. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited to get my hands on that.
妖怪厚化粧ババ
Sneak preview.
Sneak peek. Well, I mean, this is the best segue because we're going to be talking about
妖怪厚化粧ババの
turning.
格好してたよ。
Yes, that is right. The Waterfront Master Collection is back. And for anyone out there who doesn't know what the Waterfront Master Collection is,
ほら、あのスキンのアーティスト来たら妖怪厚化粧ババっつって。
terribly, horribly wrong for our characters.
エグすぎましてえぐ。
For Elodie, Orella, Ace, and
Itchy!
Xenomorph. So Elodie and Orella are both getting some sun and nice beach roses
Oh.
to enjoy. And then there's Ace, who is doing the same, but in a more classic Ace fashion.
いちいちじゃん。
His outfit is something special.
It's very special.
He's rocking a leopard print speedo and what seems to be a very
男キャラはどうでもいいのよ。女キャラ、女キャラ。
All the people out there, I can hear you typing in chat. I can confirm this outfit is mix and match. So you can go ahead and make those speedos a part of whatever outfit you like. If you want to put it with the top hat from the Alice in Wonderland collection, you can. We're not going to stop you. That's called fashion. Finally, we worked closely with 20th Century Games on our take of an aquatic xenomorph. It's inspired by kind of an anglerfish look, and we're really happy with how it turned out. It's very creepy, very cool, and honestly would not want to run into that while swimming.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And you can expect the Waterfront Master Collection, as well as Ace's Speedo, to be available in the store on July 16th.
I already know a very distinct group of people that were playing nothing but Ace Visconti during 2v8, and they're going to be wearing the hell out of that Speedo.
Yeah, so these collections, we have Pants Gang and No Pants Gang now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, choose your size. But thank you so much for joining me on the couch to talk about all the latest collections that will be coming into the fog. I'm super excited, and it was great to have you, Hollis.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
It was so much fun. So next, I'm going to be on the couch here with Eric for all of our Dead by Daylight creators out there to talk about the creator program. So stay tuned.
なるほどね。いや、これはいいね。素晴らしい。いいコラボやわ。
We're back. How about them pants?
Way back!
If there was no sound effect, that
Way
would be
back!
Yeah. New stream capabilities, the technology is amazing. Just a quick note, I did see
何笑ってんねん
thirsting for whatever the Hattie cosmetic is. We just didn't have an image for it. I'm sorry. So please just stay tuned a little longer. It's great. All right, now we're going to talk about the creator program. So at PAX a few weeks ago, as we've said a couple times, we did a big stream there. We did mention there's a new creator program on the horizon with more details on the next stream, which is this stream. So let's do that. It's today, so we've got more details to share. So the current creator program, as you probably know, is called the Fog Whisperers. They're an amazing group of people that I've gotten to meet a bunch of now. Very thankful for that. They're awesome. They're content creators on all things Dead by Daylight, and it's while many of those relationships are going to continue for sure, it's also time that we're going to open the door to new folks. This is something we've heard a lot of. How can I get into the program? So that's what we're going to start doing. So for starters, we're actually
the goal of our creator program is to make partnering with Dead by Daylight even easier and better for the creators involved. We're expanding the benefits attached to working with us, and we'll be welcoming an even wider range of personalities and content focused on the game. So if you're a creator and you've always wanted to work with Dead by Daylight, now is the time to make that happen.
Yes, so some benefits that we're being explicit about that Dork mentioned is like access to live events, like PAX we were just at, giveaways for your communities, and new ways to engage with the game, like getting regular updates on major releases before anyone else gets those updates, early access opportunities to stream and capture content, and even be featured in our content, like on streams like today. So we're going to be testing out something other than that, which is really cool because I get to work directly on it, called the Support a Creator program. Oh. It's a program within a program, I suppose. But your Support a Creator has become kind of a industry standard thing you might be familiar with. It's a chance for you as the community of a streamer or YouTuber or whatever, to support your favorite creator with your purchases in the game. You don't need to pay any extra, but you put in their creator code, and they get a cut of the Oryx cells that you're buying in Dead by Daylight. So we're going to do a little pilot of that, see how it goes. If it goes well, we do hope to roll it out wider and larger. Oh yes, it wouldn't be a creator subject without Twitch shirts.
We got to talk about Twitch shirts.
Whew, Twitch shirts. I wake up in the middle of the night thinking of Twitch shirts.
Hot sweats.
Hot sweats. Well, that's just me anyway. Okay, so Twitch shirts. Twitch shirts has become a big thing, as you know. It was never meant to become a big thing, but also wasn't well defined. How do I get them? Why does that person get them? I don't get them. And I think those are totally fair questions. And actually, we wanted to tie it to the launch of this new creator program, so it was very clear. Here's the guidelines to get into the creator program. You get into the creator program, you get a Twitch shirt. So that's the new way of getting the Twitch shirts. The old throwing them out randomly method has been retired for now, at least. So if you get into the new creator program, you will be rewarded with a lot of things, but also a Twitch shirt. So I think there's a note on that. So we're going to be granting the upcoming Twitch shirts for our next original Survivor to the creator program folks, and anyone who already has Twitch shirts, you get to hold on to the ones you have, but we won't continue to build your Twitch shirt collection. You got to get into the creator program.
Yes, so if you're interested in adding your voice to our community of creators, our new Dead by Daylight creator program website is now live, where you can go ahead and read the code of conduct and find out how you can go ahead and fill the form to apply to get yourself submitted into the program. So the link should already be pinned in chat.
Yep, and our creator team, which is kind of a sister team to our team, it's not us, they're going to be at TwitchCon EU, that's short for Europe, just from May 31st to June 1st in Rotterdam. So you can go chat with them in person and get more details, make sure that they become aware of you. What does that mean?
Yourself?
What a weird, thank you, English. I've just learned English. But also a really cool thing we're doing at that TwitchCon is sponsoring the Horror Games Community Meetup. We attended it last year at TwitchCon North America. It was
ごめん、関係ない話していい？人ってここまで太くなるんやね。
But now it's sponsored by Dead by Daylight, which is kind of
こんな太るんやね、人って。
enjoy that and meet some of the team there. Okay, enough about creators.
OK!
Let's answer some questions from the
間抜
community.
けな声。
Let's do a Q&A.
どん
Nope, sorry.
どっから
One
そ
more
んな
thing
間
we're
抜けな
gonna
声
do.
出てくるね。
We're going to talk about the stats tracker I mentioned at the top. of the
OK!
show.
Yes, the stats.
Right?
うまうまうま
It's a live stream, folks. It's a live
I'm
stream.
going insane.
うまうまうま
In a couple
馬
of
の声
weeks,
出た
we're
今
going to be debuting a new feature that you guys have been asking for a long
馬みたいな
time,
笑い方
which
し
is
て
the
る
official Dead by Daylight stats
ホース
tracker.
ホース
So, for anyone who knows the game, a lot can happen over the course of a trial. You can boon a totem, get hooked. You could get a pallet stun, get hooked. You know, there
ほら
plenty of things
馬
happen.
馬やん
Getting hooked?
And so- yeah,
笑い方馬なんだ
exactly.
けど
So
男の方
players have always
Mash-
wanted
mash
to know
you.
more information about their matches, and this website is going to be the key to getting you that information.
What
馬
I
う
should have
ま
done at the start of this, Emil, get ready. I should have said stats tracker and then air horn. So I'm going to try it. Stats tracker! Yep. Yes. We're in the 21st century. Stats are being tracked as far back as September 1st, 2020. That's just a limitation on the data that we have. So we're going back to September 1st, 2020. So you'll be able to see your own personal journey in Dead by Daylight. A random person just walked in the room, and all your milestones over that time. The team has been looking at it, actually approaching it like a fitness app, which I think is a cool approach for killers and survivors, which I think would keep you fit, actually, if you're one of those things.
Well, I mean, survivors run all the time.
Yes, yes. So it should be a fun way to track your personal progress.
Yeah. The Stats Tracker website is going to launch on June 17th, and you'll be able to access it either on desktop or mobile. So it's super simple to use, and all you'll need is a behavior account with at least one platform you play Dead by Daylight linked with it.
え、なにこれ
You can also link multiple platforms with cross progression and combine all your stats.
え、なんかデータみたいに見れるってこ
game.
と
There's the general statistics page at the start where you can see your global stats like hours played, specifically
へえ、見てこれ。
play time and matches, total matches, and more. You can also switch between the main stats for killer and survivor.
Yes, select one, and you'll be able to see things like who your most played characters are.
なんか統計データみたいに見れるんや。
You can dive in each
すげえ。
character and dig into details like emblems, average blood points earned, and even more than that.
Yeah, so we'll also be showing you super useful details like what your top perks were, both in terms of your pick rate, your kill or escape rate. You can also see which perks really drive the most success for you and the way you play the game.
Yep, and a few more things you might be wondering about. The site will be super current. So meaning your match history will update almost immediately after a match is finished in the game. So stats also refresh every
そう、
24
細かい
hours,
データ見れるんや。
meaning, where to go? Yeah, yeah. If you link a new platform, which some people may be doing, it could take up to 24
面
hours
白い。
before you start seeing
え、
those
それはおも
platform
ろいや。
stats in the tool. And finally, it could change in the future too. This is a first iteration, as with most of the things we put out. First iteration, then we build on it. It's going to focus on 1v4 matches and major seasonal events like Blood Moon, Anniversary, Halloween, and the Winter event. And as of now, custom matches won't be counted in your stats, but we're going to be looking at adding limited time events like Lights Out, Chaos Shuffle, and even 2v8 in the future down the road.
I can't wait with Chaos Shuffle for it to tell me how many times I got no mither. I would love that. And like with everything we do here at Dead by Daylight, the stats tracker is something where, as Eric said, we're going to be building on. So there's already a ton in there that we wanted to make sure that is available for players. But if there's anything you want to see added, feel free to let us know on socials so that we can let the team know and see about updating it for the future.
So keep an eye out for more info. We're very close to that release. It's actually going to release alongside this chapter, which is scheduled for June 17th of this year, by the way. So couple weeks. So only a couple of weeks away. And as I tried to transition to before, why don't we do a Q&A?
So Q&A.
Yeah, let's jump to it. I don't know if we have. Do we have a card thing? We got 2 minutes. Oh, okay. We're close to PTB time, so we're going to zoom. Okay.
PTB?
We have 2 live streams in 1 month. 5 Nights at Freddy's anniversary. We know you've got. Oh Jesus, sorry. I'm reading what was written for me. Okay, here's the actual question. There have been complaints about cheats and hackers in the game. At the moment, Is there something you can say about how you're addressing this?
The war against cheaters and hackers is a long-standing one, and that's for sure. And while it will always be there, there are definitely steps that we are taking to resolve this as much as possible. So during the upcoming months, you can expect to receive clearer game rules, a code of conduct, and regular updates on our war against cheaters, as well as strengthening our anti-cheat protocols. That's not all that we're doing, of course, but there will also be other things that we can't discuss. As we get more and closer to that, we'll be giving you more information on, and we don't want to be giving cheaters and hackers, roundabouts for.
チーターに対して何か言っ
Yeah,
てる
we
わ。
can't give them that peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Cheaters are losers. Yesterday, the developer update went live explaining the Go Next prevention. How does this affect
Oh,
survivor
PTB
perks that allow
time.
you to get off the hook? And how will the feature prevent survivors leaving the game early, abandoning their teammates?
So Go Next, otherwise known as giving up on the hook early in the match. Firstly, it ruins the match for everyone involved on the survivor team and the killers, because sometimes they have things that they've got to do too. So frustration around this has been very high as of late, and with the test happening in the PTB, the chance to get off the hook early in the match will be removed, unless you have perks or offerings that affect this. Deliverance and Wicked will stay the same, and their activation conditions have not changed, for example. Playing for the hatch, so when two survivors are left and the survivor that is hooked will try to allow themselves to die faster so that the other person can get the hatch. That is still going to happen in the game as well.
All right. With the bulk spending option, so another awesome quality of life feature coming with this release, will we be allowed to choose what items that we can spend our BP on?
So in this iteration, you can actually choose how many levels you'll want to spend your blood points on. So you can't currently choose that very specifically. And it's going to be done automatically, and you will receive a pop-up that shows what was purchased after it's completed, and it's going to be very quick. So we will monitor the feedback on this and see how it performs, and then we'll make some changes moving forward.
Oh, this one's for me. What is Eric's favorite animatronic? So people who follow me might remember I put up a picture that my son drew that I thought was Shrek. And then I posted it, and people were like, "That's Springtrap, idiot!" And then everyone speculated Springtrap was coming to the game, which at the time I had zero knowledge of. But because of that, Springtrap for sure is my favorite animatronic because I lived through some stuff with that. Do you have a favorite?
PTB
Yeah,
来たか
I think
な
for me, it would have to be Freddy Fazbear.
Oh yeah, the classic.
Gotta go to classic.
Okay, are you going to continue with the quality of life, in particular the anti-slugging fix?
We are definitely continuing with the quality of life features that we advertised earlier this year. So don't worry about that. With this PTB, we'll be focusing on the Go Next feature, bulk blood point spending, and extreme hiding. Then, in the upcoming releases, we'll be focusing on Phase 2 of the plan, so more information will be available as we head closer to that phase. But rest assured, this is still a very large focus for us. This is very important, and we want to be very careful with making sure we're addressing issues in the correct way the first time.
Final question, where is Maurice? If you're new to the game, Maurice is our beloved horse who happens to have 3 eyes and drips blood.
Yeah.
He's been missing from the game for a few weeks. And I think now is the time to let people know.
Yeah, let me know.
He took a vacation to Japan.
ジャパン
I'm serious.
Without me?
Without you, without me, pretty selfish.
Yeah.
日本でゆっくりし
If
て
you want a glimpse into his adventure in Japan, you got to play that new Assassin's Creed game.
ジャパン好きなんやったらさ、日本人の意見聞いてくれへんか
Find out for yourself.
そんなクソザ子供のさ、
Please.
アメリカとかの海外勢の意見を聞くんじゃなくて、クソザコのプロの日本人勢の意見を取り入れてくんねえかな、ちゃんと。日本売ったら簡単言うんだったら。
And we hope you're as excited about the chapter as we are.
Yes, and from all of the requests, we know you probably are. So thank you so much for sitting here with us. And now it's time for you to go and play the live PTB and test drive Springtrap for the first time.
We've got tons more of amazing content coming your way this year, and the anniversary is also just around the corner. So stay tuned for good stuff to come. And creators, we hope to hear from you soon.
Yes, so thank you everyone for the welcome back to stream messages on Twitter. This is a live stream,
Yes.
dang it. But we will be rolling out into the fog now. So you stay safe out there. Good luck in hiding and hunting.
And let's get one more air horn right now. Thank you, everybody. Have fun.
Bye. Oh my God.
さあ、ということでね、終わったよ。終わっちまったよ、ついに。配信終わっちまった。さあ、来ますよ、PTB。さあ、1時になったんで。来ますよ、来ますよ。ってことで、一旦枠切ります。
やりましょう。やりましょう。
で、この後ちょっと PTB のダウンロードしてね。
やりましょう。やりましょう。
早速、やっていきたいと思います。お疲れ様でした。バイビー。
やりましょう。やりましょう。